Senator Warren and I want to talk briefly about one provision. Senator Warren and I have a provision in this bill that would, I think, help generate housing in America. The most stunning statistic to me is the fact that the median age of a new homeowner, first-time homeowner in America today is 38. That's almost 40 before you can afford a home. It hasn't been that many years ago that the median age was 29. We've got a problem.
Senator John Kennedy used his committee time not only to spotlight a respected Capitol Hill photojournalist's retirement, but also to push for bipartisan solutions to America's housing crisis. Partnering with Senator Elizabeth Warren, Kennedy outlined a proposal that would tie federal housing grants to measurable increases in local housing stock. With the median age of first-time homeowners rising to nearly 40, Kennedy stressed that the federal government should not dictate zoning, but should use incentives and consequences to spur local governments into action.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I want to take a point of personal privilege. Photojournalism is one of the underappreciated aspects of the media. We take it for granted. One of the Hill's preeminent photojournalists is retiring, I think Thursday. Ms. Becky Hamill. We've seen her around here a lot. We've certainly seen her work product, which is extraordinary. She's a proud graduate in photojournalism from Syracuse. We hope she'll come back and see us, and I wanted to recognize her fine work and thank her for giving so much to the American people. Second, Mr. Chairman, Madam Ranking Member, I want to thank you and all the members of this committee for the bipartisanship. I hope we will all chase Senator Thune, our majority leader, like a dog to the tree line, get him to bring this bill up on the floor. Senator Warren and I want to talk briefly about one provision. Senator Warren and I have a provision in this bill that would, I think, help generate housing in America. The most stunning statistic to me is the fact that the median age of a new homeowner, first-time homeowner in America today is 38. That's almost 40 before you can afford a home. It hasn't been that many years ago that the median age was 29. We've got a problem. Now, housing is only tangentially a federal issue. It's really an issue for local government. Local government decides, for example, how to zone the land within its jurisdiction. That's good and that's bad, but I respect federalism. So I don't think we need to be telling our friends in local government how to increase the housing stock. I do think that we should use our role, which is to provide the money in a way that incents local government to build more houses. We give $2.3 billion a year in HUD grants to local government for things like housing, sewer, infrastructure, water. $2.3 billion a year. Under Senator Warren and I's proposal, if you increase your housing stock over a 5-year period, you will get extra money. Here's the other side of that coin. If you don't increase your housing stock over a 5-year period, more specifically, if you fall below the median point compared to other states, then you're going to lose 10% of your money. And we're going to take that 10% of the money from those states that don't reach the median and give it to those states that do. Before my friends in local government get their bowels in an uproar, we're not telling you how or even if to increase housing. That's up to you. I don't want to get in the zoning business. We are telling you that over a 5-year period, you're going to be compared to your peers. And those of you who surpass your peers are going to get extra money. Those of you who don't are going to lose the money, and we're going to give it to those states and local governments who do. I think it'll have a big impact.
Thank you. We'd love to keep our statements to about 2 minutes. Senator.
How long was mine? Well, hell, I spent 3 minutes thanking you.
Yes, sir. That's why you had 4 minutes.
Senator Kennedy began his remarks with a rare but heartfelt gesture, recognizing the contributions of Becky Hamill, a veteran photojournalist on Capitol Hill. He praised her decades of work capturing the history and humanity of Congress in action, reminding his colleagues and the public that journalism is not only written words, but also the images that define eras. Hamill's retirement, he noted, marks the departure of one of the Hill's most respected visual chroniclers. Transitioning to the committee's business, Kennedy applauded the bipartisan tone of the session. He expressed hope that the chamber's leadership, namely Senate Majority Leader John Thune, would prioritize the committee's work and bring their housing-focused bill to the Senate floor. The senator emphasized that the issue of housing affordability has become a national crisis, pointing to a striking statistic: the median age of a first-time homeowner in the United States is now 38, up from 29 in previous decades. For Kennedy, this shift represents not only a financial burden on young Americans, but also a societal warning sign. Kennedy underscored that while housing development is primarily a local government responsibility, the federal government has a legitimate role in shaping incentives through funding. Each year, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, allocates approximately $2.3 billion to local governments for housing-related projects such as infrastructure, water systems, and sewers. Under the Kennedy-Warren proposal, these funds would no longer be distributed automatically. Instead, they would be tied to performance. Jurisdictions that increase their housing stock over a 5-year period would receive additional funds, while those that fail to meet or exceed the national median growth rate would lose 10% of their allocation. That money, in turn, would be redirected to states and localities that successfully expand housing availability. Kennedy made it clear that the proposal respects federalism. We're not telling local governments how to zone or even if to build more housing, he said. Instead, the bill creates a peer-to-peer accountability system. States and municipalities would be measured against one another, with rewards for those who perform above average and penalties for those who lag behind. Kennedy believes this competitive structure could have a transformative effect, driving local governments to streamline permitting, rethink restrictive zoning, and find ways to encourage residential construction. The senator acknowledged potential pushback from local officials who might see the measure as federal overreach. Yet he insisted the bill avoids micromanagement and instead focuses on outcomes, leaving decisions about zoning and development entirely in local hands. The federal government, Kennedy argued, has a duty to ensure its housing grants are producing tangible results for American families, especially those struggling to achieve homeownership later in life than previous generations. His remarks closed with a light-hearted exchange about time limits, but the substance of his proposal carried weight: bipartisan recognition of the nation's housing challenges and a pragmatic attempt to use federal dollars as leverage to improve affordability and supply. Senator Kennedy's remarks highlighted two themes often missing from Washington: gratitude and cooperation. By honoring a dedicated journalist and advancing a bipartisan plan with Senator Warren, he struck a balance between tradition and reform. The housing crisis, he made clear, demands bold but practical solutions, ones that respect local authority while pushing communities to do better. Whether Congress embraces this incentive-based model will determine if younger generations continue to face delayed homeownership or finally find relief in a revitalized housing market.